Good morning, students. In the previous classes we have studied regarding the test for adequacy of index number and problems based on that we have done it. Today we will be doing with the new topic cost of living index number or consumer price index. So consumer price index, consumer price index, it is written as CPI or cost of living index. It is also called as cost of living index. So the symbol for this is CLI. So consumer price index is nothing but the cost met by a specified class of consumer, specified class of consumer in buying a basket of goods and services. So consumer price index is the cost met by a specified class of consumer in buying a basket of goods and services. Here basket of goods and services are the day-to-day needs that are needed in a specified class of consumer. For a specified class of consumer, the in day-to-day life, the things that are required for a specified class of consumer are the basket of goods and services in this. And here specified class of consumer, we have mentioned it as specified class of consumer. It means that the consumer what we have chosen are their pattern of consumption is identical. Pattern of consumption is identical, and basket of goods and services are the day-to-day, the things that are required in day-to-day life or items required by the consumer in day-to-day life is basket of goods and services. This one consumer price index, it can be asked in 1 mark and 2 marks. If it is asked in 1 mark, you can just specify consumer price index is the cost met by a specified class of consumer in buying a basket of goods and services. That is enough for 1 mark. If they ask the same question in 2 marks, define consumer price index, then you have to write it as it is the cost met by a specified class of consumer in buying a basket of goods and services. Here basket of goods and services are the items required in day-to-day life by a particular consumer. That should be mentioned for a 2-mark question. So what do you mean by basket of goods and services? If you include this, it carries 2 marks, otherwise it is for 1 mark. Depending upon the marks, you will write the definition. I hope you have got this definition. It is very important. One question of either 1 mark or 2 mark, or the problems based on this will be there in the 5 marks. Consumer price index is compulsory. Either you can have it for 1 mark or 2 mark question or the 5 mark question. The next is methods or steps involved in constructing consumer price index. The first step is similar to that of steps involved in the index number. We have steps involved in consumer price index. Again there steps involved in constructing index number. It is asked for 5 marks. Even this it is asked for 5 marks, but here it will will be with the explanation. There only they can ask, mention the steps involved in constructing index number. Here it will be explain the steps involved in constructing consumer price index. Since we have only 4 steps, it will be asked with explanation for 5 marks. Only the points, if it is asked, it will be in 2 marks. So the first point is defining the purpose and scope. So defining the purpose and scope, as you know, the purpose of index number, whichever index number, whether the usual index number or the consumer price index number, until you define why we are doing that particular index number, you cannot go next step, that is how to collect the data, what to do it, what steps should be taken, that cannot be identified properly. So because of that, purpose of doing the consumer price index number should be clarified first, should be given. Only then we can go ahead with this method. Then here we have scope. Scope is nothing but area, the geographical area. So in which place we are going to conduct the consumer price index, that should be defined first itself. Next one, conducting the family budget inquiry. Conducting family budget inquiry and selecting weight. So each and every family will have the different pattern of consumption. So here we'll divide the items as food, the amount they are spending on different items will give it as food, clothes, house rent, education. You can have still more. I'll write it as miscellaneous. Miscellaneous is nothing but others. So the amount spent by the consumer on different items are classified it as food, clothing, house rent, education and miscellaneous. And we'll come to know it, what is the each family, how much they are spending on food, then clothes, house rent, education and miscellaneous. Then these, whatever we have got, the items, the amount spent will be averaged and taken while doing the consumer price index. So family budget inquiry is done. So what is the amount they are spending on each items like this? It is divided into many categories. So still we can divide it based on how many are there. Then the amount spent is taken and averaged, and then we are taking in doing the consumer price index. The next one is obtaining price quotation. So as we know, the prices of items will vary from one place to another place, in one market, from one market, from one shop to another shop, and even in one shop from consumer to consumer, the prices will vary. So we have to take the prices of items from different places and averaged. The averaged prices are taken while doing consumer price index. The last is computing the index number. Computing the index number. So in computing the index number, depending upon what type of data is there, will decide which method should be used. We have two methods: aggregative expenditure method, aggregative expenditure method. Then second one, family family budget method. Family budget method. So in aggregative expenditure method, the base year quantity is taken as weight. So the formula will be CPI equals sigma P1 Q0 divided by sigma P0 Q0 into 100. This formula is similar to that of last year's price index number. So aggregative expenditure method and last year's price index number formula both are same. Similarly, the second one, family budget method, the formula is sigma PW divided by sigma W, and here W is P0 Q0. W is P0 Q0. Unlike in the index number methods, each and every method the answers were different, but here in the consumer price index, whether you use the aggregative expenditure method or the family budget method, the answer will be similar. How we'll get that similar? We'll verify it here. So sigma, you can write it as it is. What is the formula of P? It is P1 divided by P0 into 100. P is nothing but price relative. Price relative formula is P1 divided by P0 into 100. What is W? It is P0 Q0. W is P0 Q0. So this is what we get when we substitute for the numerator, divided by sigma. W is P0 Q0. So here P0 and P0 will get cancelled. What is remaining in the numerator? It is sigma P1. I'll take Q0 here, divided by sigma P0 Q0 into 100. Which formula is this? This is the formula regarding aggregative expenditure method. So because of this, whether we are using the aggregative expenditure method or the family budget method, both the answers will be similar. If they have given in the question as weight, then we'll be using the family budget method itself, and in the question if they have given the expenditure values or if they have given it as price and quantity, then we'll use aggregative expenditure method itself. I'll say it once again. The steps involved in constructing consumer price index. The first step is defining the purpose and scope, where without defining the purpose, any of the statistical method, if we have to use, then we have to define the purpose. Without defining the purpose, we cannot know what are the steps should be taken it further. So because of that, purpose should be defined first itself, and here scope is nothing but the location, the place where we want to conduct the consumer price index. The next second one is conducting the family budget inquiry and selecting the weight. So each and every family will have the different types of consumption. So because of that, the items can be divided as food, cloth, house rent, education, fuel and lighting, miscellaneous. You can divide like that, and the amount spent by each family on different items are known. Then those items are averaged and taken while constructing the consumer price index. The next one is obtaining price quotation. The prices of items what we have selected, that is known under this step, and each prices will be different from one place to the another place, from one shop to another shop, and from one consumer to another consumer. So because of that, we have to take the price quotation from different places and average it, and then should be taken while constructing the consumer price index. And the last step under this is computing the index number. While doing consumer price index, we have two methods: aggregative expenditure method and family budget method. Aggregative expenditure method is the same as that of last year's price index number, and family budget method, it is similar to that of weighted arithmetic mean formula. If you remember the weighted arithmetic mean, we were using it as sigma PW divided by sigma W, and here the answers will be same whether we are using aggregative expenditure method or the family budget method. The next topic is uses of consumer price index or the cost of living index. There are 6 points. You can either write this uses or the same uses as that of the index number. Both you can write it. So uses of consumer price index, it is used to determine the purchasing power of money and also to compute the real wages. So the real wages are computed by using the formula money wages divided by cost of living index into 100. The next point is it is used in fixation of salary or to grant bonus to the employees. So until the salary is more or the people get the bonus, they won't be working. So depending upon the cost of living index, depending upon cost of living, what is the cost of living, then they'll be fixing the salary and giving the allowance to the employees. They are used by the government, both state and central government uses this for the formulation of price policy. So what should be the prices of each and every item, or wage policies, how much wages should be given to the employees, and the general economic policies. You know, there are many economic policies. To formulate all these, it is used by both central and the state government. Next one, they are used for comparing changes in the cost of living of different class of people. Each and every class of consumer, class of people will have different cost of living. So what are the changes from one class of people to the other class of people, that can be studied by using this method. Next one is they are used for deflating money or income. So deflating is nothing but changing the money wages to real wages. What is this? That you'll be studying in your higher studies. Just remember the point, that is enough. Next one is it is used in wage contracts and wage negotiations. So these are the points for the consumer price index. Define consumer price index and uses of consumer price index can be asked in 5-mark question. That time definition carries 5 marks, definition carries 2 marks, and any of the 3 points if you write, it is enough. You need not learn all the 6 points, 3 points are enough. 3 or 4 points if you learn, you can answer this. In 1 mark and 2 marks uses are not asked, it is only in 5-mark questions. So 5-mark questions, what we have learned today is define consumer price index, with that mention the uses can be asked in 5-mark, or explain the steps involved in constructing consumer price index. Again, it is the 5-mark question itself. The problems based on this method will be doing in the next class. Thank you.